walk, so it's kind of like, the thing is that there's like no easy rounds. People always like, hey, let's go easy. Like you step on the mats, like especially if you have a black belt, everybody's coming with like everything they got, because as a black belt, I can do very well for majority of people, control them and hold them and submit them or do whatever I want. But, and then as kind of like the way I say it, like, hey, you guys are progressing, I'm digressing, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you reach a certain age, certain level, you can still hold your own and everything, but, you got a young buck who's just like training like 3 hours a day every single day like I used to. Now I'm paying for it, because my back is screwed up. I developed like arthritis in my facet joints, and it's just like major inflammation all the time. My back is just like painful. I get this shooting pain. So, and that's a sport that I love so much. So like I'm at a very major predicament. I dedicated so much to this sport. It's like my therapy, and now it has been taken away from me. So kind of like I'm freaking out every day about it, not being able to train, seeing all these guys train, and I want to be right there because I'm still 43 years old. Like I can, train all my life as I thought I could. So now and like steroid shots, ablations, and like thinking of all kind of different procedures. I do thousands of exercises every day. So it's like I'm mentally like knowing that you have a problem makes you work out harder, because you always think like I don't want to lose strength and things like that. So like I wake up, my whole regimen is just like exercise. I'm like tired of exercise, but and still my back goes out. So I'm seeing a chiropractor tomorrow, just trying different people, whatever. And I'm giving up hope.
I really hope that works because I imagine you've also done other things to try to figure out exactly what's going on.
Yeah. At least I can point to. At least I know where the pain is coming from because I had one steroid shot and they hit me in the right spot and I felt for 3 months like I have a brand new back, and then just once it wore off, I got pain again, So like I'm working on it because I'm a first degree black belt under Carlos Gracie Jr., which is insane because Carlos Gracie Jr., I always tell people, like, how crazy is this? How many people have the belt that I have? I got my belt from the son of the founder of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the son of the founder. It's like direct lineage, It was, how it was Carlos Gracie Jr. and then it was Helio Gracie, right? And they had their two, like, separate systems, right? That, like, still Jiu-Jitsu and whatnot. So I ended up on the Gracie Baja and Carlos Gracie Jr.
Yeah, what was that like? Because obviously, so many people now see jiu-jitsu gyms all over the place, but when it came to, like you said, that's the direct lineage. You are 2 people away, actually you're just 1 person away from the person who created the entire thing. So, like, what do you see, I guess the question I'm curious now, that I'm thinking about it, what do you see that is different from what you learned as opposed to what maybe people are learning in other jiu-jitsu gyms?
Jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu, man. It's like, you just roll, it doesn't differ, man, honestly. Philosophies different here, small techniques here and there, but it's jiu-jitsu, it's like, you grapple, the end goal is the same, right? Submit.
Right.
Make him say Uncle Phil. So that's why I'm like, I believe in it. It's funny because I got my blue belt on the Hands of Gracie system. I got my purple belt because I traveled a lot, and I got my purple belt under Edson Carvalho in New Jersey, and then brown belt and black belt on the Gracie Barra.
Wow. Were there like little life lessons that, or like psychology that he maybe had taught to you that while you were in that process?
Well, it's like, psychology is like, just basic stuff, man. Just discipline and more discipline. Just like be there, That's what we're trying to install in people right here too. Kind of like don't be late, respect your coaches, be on time, be a good training partner, leave your ego at the door,
That's awesome.
that type of stuff. So pretty much basic life lessons.
Yeah.
Be a good person.
It should be basic for everybody, but there's so many people out there who don't know how to be a good person in general. So. Yeah. Now,
and a lot of kids come to a lot of young kids come to the sport, so we always have to teach them the right from wrong,
True. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, not only are you obviously in a physically demanding sport, and especially when it comes to the coaching side as well, but it's also a mental one as well. What kind of mental workouts do you normally do, and do you also try to teach your other fighters?
Well, mentally it's kind of like, it's tough, because as much as some of these guys are so strong and so physically strong, a lot of guys, including myself, honestly, like, kind of mentally weak, because it's kind of like I'm mentally screwed up right now because I can't train, like you take that away and then I don't have that ability, to do things, which puts me in a very weird state of mind because I'm not able to do what I do. But for the most part, like I said, a lot of these guys, they grow, because it's like if something doesn't happen the way you want it, which is, like I said, it's always 50-50, you lose your fight, you start doubting yourself, and then you go and you see guys that are like the next big thing supposed to be, and they go on a 3-5 losing streak, and they're like, that wasn't supposed to happen, so it messes with your psyche, Especially you could be a great fighter on the mats, in the cage, beating everybody up. You get there on the bright lights and you get knocked out, get submitted, and you just can't pull it off. So it's like, well, maybe I chose the wrong path, but then you love doing this. So it's like, it's a never-ending self battle of what am I doing this for? Why am I doing this? So you always have to deal with that. Because there's so many other career paths you can take, what I'm saying? And these guys are just like, these guys are always in that weird state of mind, especially if it doesn't go your way.
Yeah, it's hard to see the forest through the trees, and, life is not always going to be, it's not always ups. You have to have the downs to fully appreciate the ups. So I think, like you said, a lot of the, especially, probably the younger fighters, or even on the other end, the older ones that are still, or like maybe have the, the thoughts of, can I still do this? These guys or girls are real young. I don't know if I still have it in me, that kind of stuff.
The crazy with ups and downs, this ups and downs here are completely different, because they're knocked out for the whole world to see. That will mess with your head. It's not like a regular 9-to-5 job where nobody cares about what's going on,
Yeah.
So it's a different type of ups and downs, which is very hard to come back from sometimes.
Yeah, because, if somebody at an accounting firm doesn't get a report, plugged in time, or let's say one of their accounts, drops them, that's not put on all over social media. There's no memes, there's no GIFs, there's no replay, there's none of that. However, you get knocked out, you get choked out, you're bloodied, that's a picture forever, that's a meme forever, a GIF forever, that's something you could always pull up, as opposed to, the other side of it, to where somebody at a desk job, not an issue.
They'll torture you for the rest of your life because you put your most vulnerable, things out there,
Yeah, and I mean, it's easier for me to say because I'm not in it, but with those things, you have to accept them, like take them in, and then, just like a breath, take it in and then blow it right back out and just blow out all that bad, stuff that you're feeling and everything. Like I remember listening to George St. Pierre after he had lost the Sarah fight and they were going into the second fight. I remember him saying, you know, I forget exactly who told him to do it, but I think he wrote Sarah's name on like a rock or a brick or something and then threw it in a river or a lake and was like, okay, all those bad feelings that I had from that first fight, those are gone now. And now it's all about that second fight.
That's right. Every fight stands in its own, yeah. That's why I tell the guys, I don't know if you ever seen the show Kingdom with Frank Grillo.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Oh, you got to see it. It's one of the best shows. First of all, we produced it. Like, there's a lot of our fighters on it. It's one of the greatest shows I've ever seen, even if it wasn't MMA, even if I wasn't a fan of it. But my coach over there says that, hey, you got, like, the guy loses and you got 48 hours to dwell on it, and that's it. Like, you don't think about this anymore. So if you continue, you chose that path, you're lost, whatever happened, happened. You know the chances you're taking. Very much, you just move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's perfectly right because again, you know, there's the next fight is always right ahead of you. That last fight is behind you.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, I have a segment on the show I call it the 5 count where I have 5 random questions and you just answer as quick as possible.
Sure.
All right. Number 1, how do you take your coffee?
With the creamer.
Okay. Do you do the flavored creamers or just regular creamers?
Flavored and vanilla.
Oh, vanilla, nice. If you owned a liquor company, brewery, winery, or coffee shop, which one would you own and what would the name be?
Well, actually, I do own a coffee shop here at the gym. It's called JW Coffee Cafe. But if I would do like wine, probably. I don't know what I'd name it. I would call it the Headache. I don't know.
I like that. Favorite sports beside jiu-jitsu or MMA?
Hockey.
Who's your team?
Well, I haven't been following, but it's as much now. But those Red Wings. I used to play ice hockey.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Who inspires you?
My children.
That's awesome. What would you tell your 17-year-old self?
Stop being an idiot.
That's almost one you could tell yourself at any age, really.
Very much.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now, Michael, if people wanted to find you online, follow you, check out the gym, just reach out to you in general, how can they do the thing?
Yeah, just Jackson Wink Instagram and Jackson Wink _MMA, or website jacksonwink.com.
Well, there we go.
Uh-huh.
Mike, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you're back. You figure out what's going on there so you can get back to competing. Obviously, in the meantime, thank you for everything you've done, not only for defending our country, but also when it comes to, handling the personalities inside your gym and, providing such great, warriors and champions coming out of there.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much to Mike for being on the show. Again, Jackson Wink MMA is an amazing place for putting out and showing the world the most amazing fighters on the planet. So thank you so much again for Michael for being on the show. And thank you guys for signing up for our newsletter. It comes out twice a week. You get even more information about our guest. You get fun facts, and you get to find out what's happening with your favorite podcast, all about beer, coffee, booze, and brews. Also, follow us on social medias. It is Brewsers Pod. That is BREWSCRSPOD on the Instagram, the Threads, and the Twitter, or the X, whatever you want to call it. We also have a Facebook. We have a Reddit. We have YouTube. Definitely go check us out. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or requests, send them over to brewserspod@gmail.com. And if you want to follow me directly, it is Rody John. That is RODIEJON. Rody